Namaste. Today we will look at the story of Lord Ganesha and his broken tusk. In the ancient times, the great sage Ved Vyasa received a divine vision from Lord Brahma. He realized that he had been chosen to compose one of the greatest epics in history, the Mahabharata, a tale of dharma, devotion, and destiny. However, the task was immense. The story was so vast and complex that Vyasa needed someone who could write it down without stopping as he narrated it. But who could take on such a monumental task? After consulting other gods and after giving it deep thought, Vyasa realized that Lord Ganesha, the deity of wisdom and intellect, was the perfect choice. Thus, Vyasa travelled to Mount Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati, where young Ganesha resided. Bowing before the god, Vyasa said, "O Lord Ganesha, you are the remover of obstacles and the lord of wisdom. I wish to compose the epic Mahabharata, but I need someone who can write it down as I narrate. Will you help me?" Lord Ganesha, always playful and intelligent, agreed but placed a condition. He said, "I will write without stopping, but you must dictate continuously. If you pause, I will stop writing and leave." Vyasa, knowing that he needed time to carefully compose his verses, thought for a moment and then proposed a counter condition. Vyasa said, "You must understand the meaning of each verse before you write it down." Ganesha, confident in his intellect, smiled and accepted the challenge. Thus, the writing began. Vyasa sat in deep meditation and began to recite the first verse of the Mahabharata. Ganesha, with quill in hand, started writing at an incredible speed. Verse after verse, the great sage spoke, and the wise Lord Ganesha wrote them down flawlessly. However, Vyasa, being a genius himself, had anticipated this. To gain time to think, he occasionally composed extremely complex and difficult verses that required deep contemplation. Each time Vyasa dictated such a verse, Ganesha had to pause for a moment to fully grasp its meaning before writing it down. This gave Vyasa the precious time he needed to prepare for the next part of the story. As the Mahabharata progressed, Ganesha wrote continuously using his quill. But the sheer intensity of writing such a massive text caused his quill or pen to break in the middle of the dictation. For a moment there was silence. Ganesha, bound by his own condition, knew that he could not stop writing. Without hesitation, he broke off one of his own tusks, dipped it in ink, and used it as a writing instrument to continue the epic. The writing resumed without delay, and thus Ganesha sacrificed his tusk for the sake of knowledge, wisdom, and devotion to duty. After years of continuous effort, Vyasa and Ganesha completed the Mahabharata. It became one of the greatest epics of all time, containing over 100,000 verses. At the end of the task, Vyasa blessed Ganesha, saying, "You have shown the world the importance of wisdom, dedication, and sacrifice. Your broken tusk will forever be a symbol of learning and perseverance." Lord Ganesha smiled and accepted the blessing. What can we learn from this story? The story of Lord Ganesha's broken tusk teaches us several valuable lessons. First, sacrifice for knowledge. Ganesha's willingness to break his own tusk shows that wisdom and learning are worthy at any personal cost. Second, perseverance. No matter how difficult the task, one should never give up. Third, adaptability. When faced with obstacles, instead of stopping, we must find new ways to move forward. Fourth, humility in greatness. Despite being a powerful deity, Lord Ganesha accepted the responsibility to write to serve a noble purpose. Thus, Lord Ganesha became the eternal symbol of wisdom, learning, and devotion. Do let me know your comments. Namaste.